This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Wow, it's 2000. One of the, probably the best year that I've been playing games that I can remember. So much so that doing this top 10 was really hard. So, a little disclaimer here that this is obviously towards the end of the year. I haven't played all the games that I've wanted to play. I've got plenty of games still in my queue that come out in 2015, but I couldn't wait to play them all or I wouldn't be doing this until probably the end of next year. So I had to draw the line somewhere. It's sort of the end of the year calendar-wise. Plenty of games I still haven't played, but for the ones that I have, here are my top 10 games of 2015.
Number 10.
Now before I do number 10, since it was such a tough year, and wow, there's a lot of games on the cusp that just didn't make it, I want to give some honorable mentions to a few games like Black Hat, H-A-T, interesting trick-taking game that was right on the cusp. Isle of Skye, sort of a tile placement and bidding game right on the cusp. Last Spike, which was an awesome sort of streamlined version of Acquire that sort of just missed the cut. Those three are sort of some honorable mentions that just missed it. Also, Queen's Architect was another one that, really good games, but just missed the cut. So let's go with number 10. Number 10 is a card game that in normal years would have made my card game of the year. Hint, since it did not, there's a card game on this list later on. And so with this, we have Arboretum, and this was from Z-Man Games. This came out really early in the year, and sometimes we get this bias towards a lot of the games are ones that come out recently. With the cult of the new, we're always excited what's new. This game came out early, and that really shows in a year this strong and a game that came out this early, and I played literally hundreds since then. For this still to be on the list is huge. 2 to 4 players, takes 30 minutes to play. This is an awesome card game. It was inspired by one of my favorite card games, a 2-player game called Lost Cities, which is one of my favorites, and this was inspired by that, and it has a lot of similar feelings to that, where you're trying to make this arboretum, and the most excruciating thing you're doing on your turn is which card to discard. It's so simple. You're just picking up 2 cards, you're playing one, and you're discarding one, but you're trying to hold things from other players. And the most interesting part about this game is it's like you're scoring these arboretums that start and end with a certain tree, but you only score them if you have the highest value cards of that tree. So you want to play them to get points, but you don't get points unless you actually hold some back, and you hold back more than your opponents have. Interesting, and that makes discarding, oh my gosh, the discarding in this game makes your head explode in a good way. Awesome little card game. I like it best with 2. I really like it with 3. With 4, experienced players only because your brain will melt. Otherwise, anyway, Arboretum, excellent game. That's my number 10.
Number 9.
My number 9 is a game that I don't even have to show you. Why? Because I don't even have it yet. What? How do you have a game in the top 10 that you haven't even played? This is a game that I played a ton at BGG. Thanks to Sam Healy, who got a copy at Essen. He let me borrow it for an entire day, and we played the snot out of this thing, playing both sides. We stayed up till like 3 in the morning playing this one night. It's awesome. If you like 2-player asymmetrical quick games, it's quick. It's like 20 minutes, and it's got this tension. It's got this thing where you're like guessing what your opponent's going to play, maybe using some deduction, because as you play cards that are numbered, they're staying out there, so you know that which cards they have left in their hand. You're trying to deduce what they might do. And the whole idea of this, I play a card, you play a card, the lower card gets to play its special ability, and the higher card gets actions in the amount of the higher card minus the lower card. Really fascinating mechanics there. Thematically, it's awesome. The scientists are trying to take down the mama by tranquilizing her, or putting, tranquilizing, 3 of the babies, and the mama's trying to either eat all the scientists or get 3 of her babies to escape. Oh man, it is an excellent two-player asymmetrical game made by Number 9. That's Raptor.
Number 8.
My number 8 is another two-player game co-designed by Bruno Cathala. Guess this time also with Anton Bauza. And this is Seven Wonders Duel, essentially the two-player version of Seven Wonders. Wow, I like this game even more than the original Seven Wonders. The way that the whole drafting works, where they're different configurations based upon the round. And you can kind of see a little bit ahead of, if I do this, then he might do this, and that will get him this. I don't want him to have that. A lot of planning ahead. Interesting things to do. There's lots of... the coolest thing is that just because there's the possibility of someone losing immediately because of military or science, it's always in the back of your head. You're always sort of trying to fight for those things, but at the same time still trying to get points. Oh man, this game's awesome. I did not only a review, but I did a live playthrough with multiple camera angles. You can check that one out as well. Amazing quick game. One of the best two-player games that I have. Still not better than the Mr. Jack stuff, but I love this. Seven Wonders Duel, my number 8.
Number 7.
My number 7 is a game that came out earlier last year, actually 2014, from a company in Poland, but it did not have English rules in the box. And so part of my delineation is when a game comes out, whether it's worldwide, if it has English rules in the box, then I could use it for that year. If not, I couldn't. So this game would have been on my top 10 list last year, but it still is in this awesome year, and that tells you a lot about this game. I'm talking about Mysterium. This is a 2 to 7 player game. It's like Clue meets Dixit, a popular party game, where you're giving out cards of different original awesome artwork to certain people, and you can't talk, and you're a ghost trying to get people to guess who did it, what was the weapon, and what was the location. And it's cooperative fully, where people are trying to talk together and see, hey, this might go with this, or this totally looks like this. And it's that discussion that really makes this game awesome. And the ghost can't say a word, he's just passing out cards. Fantastic cooperative game, awesome artwork, and just was really, really involved into, you really get involved into the situation. You feel like you're there trying to figure out this murder, and just hearing other people's ideas of how they see things is really cool in this game. Really great package, and that's Mysterium.
Number 6.
Number 6 for me is a deduction game from Europe. I think you have to get this one from Amazon.de in the US. It's not well known. There's not a lot of buzz about this game, but it's absolutely amazing. It's called Think Straight. This is a 2 to 4 player deduction game, plays in about 45 minutes. And this game is similar to Code 777, where you have numbers in front of you of different colors and you're trying to figure out what those are. You can't see your numbers, but you can see everybody else's. So you have some deduction to do. And then on your turn, you're rolling these dice. One person's rolling these dice of different colors, and they're setting what the colors are this round. So they might say yellow, purple, and green. And so you have to say, okay, what is my yellow number plus my purple number plus my green number? And you take these token things, and you're putting them over a range of numbers. And the larger the range of the numbers that you guess that summation is, the less points you get. The more sure you are, the more points you get. It's like this little press your luck betting element where you're betting how well do you know the numbers in front of you, and do I want to get less points and maybe narrow it down for further in the game, or do I want to go for it all, maybe get points, but also still possibly narrow it down as well. Really awesome. This game possibly has replaced Code 777 for me because it's that good, but hard to get. If you like deduction games and you like Code 777, this is an absolute must-buy. The components are not great. They're very lackluster and subpar. Even with that, this game is this high on this list. That tells you how good of a game this is. Think straight.
Number 5.
My number 5 is sort of a party game that's very popular. Essentially, it's Password on steroids, and we're talking about code names. This game is absolutely unbelievable. I remember the first night we played this at Dice Tower Con. We played this game for like 3 hours straight. I mean, we were just time after time after time. I mean, essentially in this game, you're giving your partner or partners a whole team of people. This plays up to like, I don't know, 10 people. What's it in the box? 8 plus. You can play as many people as you want. You have 2 teams, you're giving someone a 1-word clue, and you're telling them how many words in this grid have to do with that clue. And it's really interesting with this word association where you're trying to link things together, and you're trying to do it as fast as possible, but you're also trying to be careful because you don't want them to by accident guess the other player's words, and you definitely don't want them to guess the assassin, which makes you lose altogether. Really fun game. And the coolest part about this is the synergy you get with your team, where after a few games you start to learn how each other think, and like you get to the synergistic model where you're like totally reading each other, and it's so fulfilling. Lots of jumping up and down moments when you get a really good clue here. Great game that plays well. I mean, the 2-player variant's even still fun too, but it's great with a lot of people as well, and that's Codename.
Number 4.
My number 4 is a puzzly game. And you're going to be putting some spheres kind of like on a pyramid with a bunch of rules. Doesn't sound like much. Maybe it doesn't even look like much. This is called Dimension from Cosmos. This came out actually last year, 2014 in Germany, but it did not have English rules in the box. This came out in 2015 with English rules in the box and in America. So now it's made it to 2015. It's for 1 to 4 players. Takes about 20 minutes. This is a very puzzly game. I love puzzles. And you've got all these different colored spheres, and there's a row of rules that you can't do. You can't have a red ball, a white ball next to an orange ball. The green ball has to be on the bottom. You cannot put a black ball on top of anything. A blue ball has to be next to a green ball, and all these different rules, and you're trying to get as many as you can. And if you use at least one of every ball and you don't break any rules, you get some bonuses. Man, it's awesome. It's timed as well. So there's a timer, there's some tension there. This game's awesome, and every game it feels different because all the rules change, which makes your brain work differently. If you like puzzle games, this is one of might be my favorite puzzle game ever, and it's unbelievable. That's Dimension.
Number 3.
My number 3 is sort of a social deduction, sort of trader type of game. And it's actually just coming in stock right now, finally. And we're talking about Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. This game is like the Resistance Avalon meets Mysterium. This is 4 to 12 players. One player is the murderer, and there's all these cards in front of everybody. There's 4 red cards, which are sort of the clues, and there's 4 blue cards, which are sort of the means of the murder, how it happened. And someone is secretly the murderer, and they are letting a forensic scientist know what they did, like what the murder weapon was and how they did it. 2 cards essentially. And then everyone opens their eyes, and the forensic scientist who knows the answer can't say anything. He's trying to get the good guys, which is pretty much everybody else in the game, to guess by giving silent clues. And as he places these silent clues, everyone else is trying to talk around and try to figure out who's the murderer, what's the weapon, and who's doing it. And it's awesome to facilitate these conversations. And when you play with 6 or more players, there's these special roles that you throw in where there's an accomplice that knows who the murderer is. There's also a witness who also knows who the murderer in person is. They're trying to get their teammates to know, but they can't be too obvious because at the end of the game, if they win, the murderer has a last-ditch effort to kill the witness. Oh man, this game's amazing. It's quick. It takes like 10 minutes, 15 tops. And it plays a lot of people, and it even plays, the lower play counts in these type of games typically aren't good. This one's awesome even with 4 players, all the way up to 12. It's awesome. One of my favorite games of all time, actually, and that's Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Number 2.
My number 2 was my number 1 for most of the year. This game came out earlier in the year. It also won my Card Game of the Year award. We're talking about Baseball Highlights 2045. I really thought this game was going to kind of run the table throughout the year. It did get knocked out towards the end, but I love this game. There's so much I love about it. I think Mike Fitzgerald is brilliant, and he has designed a game that, gosh, it overcame so many design challenges to make a game that is so incredibly balanced and is good enough to attract people that don't like baseball along with people that like baseball, because it's similar enough to baseball and has interesting throwback names that people that know baseball are going to be instantly drawn in. And then it has stuff that has like nothing to do with baseball, sort of some of the mechanics and just, it doesn't feel like baseball. There's 2 fields, there's 2 teams happening at once. It's like a ping pong match. Mechanically, it doesn't feel like baseball, but for the baseball people, it does. I don't know how he did it, but it's amazing. Even if you don't like baseball, check this one out. It has a deck building element, and I don't even like deck building games. This game's amazing. You're building your team, you're sending people to the minors. It's got tournament mode where you're like, if you play with 4 players, you're playing a tournament where one of you 4 are going to win. You'll play 9 little mini games. Each game takes like 5 minutes. And then after your 9 games, you'll seed and then you'll play again. Oh man, it's awesome. If you ever play in a big tournament, You could take the 2 teams that were in the end of that tournament. You could replay those teams yourself with your buddy. So many interesting things you could do with this game. The expansions just keep coming out. I just reviewed 2 new expansions and some starter teams recently. This is one of my favorite card games of all time. One of my favorite games of all time. Oh man, Baseball Holiday 2045. Whether you like baseball or not, you have to check this game out.
Number 1.
So what game is good enough to knock off a game I liked that much that I thought was going to be it for the whole year and almost ran the table? Well, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite game of the year, and quite frankly, it might be possibly my favorite game of all time. This game has helped me experience board games in a way that I have never felt before. The sessions with this game have had more memorable moments and have had the most engaging sort of, the engagement in this game. You feel so much part of the game when you play this. I'm talking about Time Stories. This game is unbelievable. The way that you just get sucked into these stories of people cooperatively, you're going to spots and people are reading a card, but they're not just reading it to you verbatim, they're putting it down and they're telling you what they saw with their own eyes, their own words, their own sort of stories, their own embellishments. And you're like in this world and you feel like you're there. You really do. It's beautiful artwork. You're going to this panoramic place that's giving you hints of what's behind there. And you're going there and you're figuring out what to do and you're asking buddies to help. But all along this little tactical game here, throughout the whole arc, you've got this storyline. You've got these puzzles. It's very puzzly. You're trying to figure out what's going on. You're trying to figure out these clues. You're getting towards the end and you might be stuck and you're trying to figure things out together as a team. Oh man, you mixed like puzzly stuff with co-op, with engagement with the level that this is. Oof, it blew my head off. I didn't even think this was a game that I was even going to review because it just looked so different from anything that I would like. I'm so glad I did. Some of these experiences are just amazing. It brought me back to the days of playing Myst, the computer game on my Commodore 64 that had great graphics and it's a puzzle and it's like you're going around and taking notes about what you found here, what you do here. I felt like I was playing that in a board game with other people experiencing it together. And that's why it's my game of the year. And I'm really looking forward to all the other stories that come out next year with this. Even though it's sort of a once and done thing, it doesn't matter. It's still an awesome value. When else can you spend, $20 for a new story, get 5 hours or so out of it, and have it be so memorable that we're still talking about it years later? Oof, awesome game. Time Stories, my game of the year. Well, there you have it. There's all my games, top 10 for the year. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be interested to see if you guys agree or disagree, or maybe you learned about some games that you didn't know about that you're maybe going to go check out now and see maybe if they are for you, because we're all different. Well, thanks a lot for 2015. 2016 is going to be a huge year for me. It's going to be my first full year having my own channel at GameBoyGeek.com, and I look forward to engaging with you so much next year. I'll see you next time.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.